Hey guys, Sid here. So with Valentine's Day coming up, I thought it'd be nice if we showed you some stories related to that topic. So today we're going to go over all the stories from our first dates and how we met our partners videos. And as a special feature, I'll put a card up after each story to link you to the full video that story's from. Alright, enjoy the video!
I used to be very into metal music. I used to go see a lot of metal and punk bands. I would go to shows a lot with friends, but on one night I went out expecting to see friends, or at least somebody I knew. I spent a long time walking around and didn't actually see anyone, which was a bit of a surprise. It was somewhere I went a lot and just expected to see people. After a while of walking around, a very cute girl asked me to take a picture of her group of friends. I stopped and took a picture and we chatted, and we got on really well, and we ended up speaking for most of the night. We didn't swap numbers or anything because I had a girlfriend at the time, but we saw each other a couple of times after that. We saw each other more and more, and eventually it worked out and we got together. And we've been together a long time since then.
So before I had my Doopy channel, I had a different animation channel. And I was also doing animations and cartoons and stuff like that on that channel. One day I received a message from a boy named Jess, and we hit it off immediately. He wanted to be a voice actor for one of my animations, but we ended up becoming really great friends. We added each other on Skype, and we just couldn't stop talking to each other. I was going through a rough time, so I wasn't ready for a relationship quite yet, but he wanted to be with me so badly, and he was really fucking cute. So eventually we got together, and we Skyped every single day. I lived in Florida, and he lived all the way across America and California. It was really hard for us because we ended up falling so in love that being apart was absolutely unbearable. So he scraped up as much money as he could to come fly down and visit me for a day. That day was so amazing, and we ended up spending the entire day just kissing each other. It was insane. Literally hours just making out. Jess is getting embarrassed listening to me talk about this. So when he had to fly back home, I remember it was just so hard for us to be apart from each other, that as soon as he landed back home, we already decided he was gonna move down to Florida to be with me permanently. There was no questions. He saved up as much money as he could from his job at Home Depot to fly down, and we didn't even have enough money for him to get an apartment or anything, but we promised each other that we would make it work, and we did. And we've been together for 6 years now, apart from, breaking up once in a while because, we had our problems, but for the most part, we've been very, very happy together.
I'm going to tell you the story about how my girlfriend and I started dating. So back in high school, when the big end of year dance was announced, I immediately asked the most popular girl in high school to be my date. Surprisingly, she said yes. But towards the end of the year, I started getting close to another girl, a girl named City. City already had a date who was actually a close friend of mine. Both of us were just taking our dates as friends. About a week before the dance, I asked City to be my girlfriend, and she said yes. But there was still the big dance coming up, and we didn't want anything to be awkward. So we kept our relationship a secret from everyone else, so our dates wouldn't find out. On the night of the big dance, when the slow dance started playing for all the couples to dance to, I went up to my date and I asked her if she would like to dance. She just said, "No thanks, I don't like slow dances." And I saw my girlfriend wasn't asked yet. So I went up to her and I asked her, and I got to have the slow dance with my secret girlfriend. After the dance, me and my friends went back to my place for a sleepover, but my date decided to go home instead. The next day, me and City had planned to go out on our first official date. So as we were all heading out, we said we were going to the shopping center. And City's date was all like, "I'll come too, I have to return my suit." So after we returned his suit, we all went to the food court to grab some food. And we sat him down and we said, we probably should tell you that me and City are dating. And it dawned on him that he had asked to tag along on our date. And he started freaking out. He was all like, "Is this a date? I'm sorry, I couldn't go if you like, I don't mind. I'm really sorry for imposing." Basically offering to leave us alone so we could spend private time together. And we just laughed. It wasn't that bad. It was hilarious seeing him freak out and assuming that we were upset at him for some reason.
Up until age 19, I didn't know how to ride a bike. Crazy, I know, but it's true. I got asked out by this crazy cute guy when I was 18, and he told me the date would be a surprise. See where this is going? Sure enough, he booked us a romantic, scenic biking tour along the river. For anyone else, this would have seemed like the most perfect first date idea ever. But as someone that could barely balance on a bike, I panicked and made up the stupidest excuse I could think of, followed by the stupidest alternative suggestion I could make. I said, I hurt my ankle this weekend, so I won't be able to bike. How about we go dancing instead? Needless to say, there was no second date.
My first date was absolutely horrible. It wasn't bad, it was just really embarrassing. I was about 13 at the time, and my boyfriend was 14 or 15. We were in a long-distance relationship, and he had come down over the summer to see me for the first time. And when he came, I froze completely. And it only got worse because he also froze, and we couldn't even talk to each other. It was so embarrassing and so awkward. At the time, the Nintendo DS was really popular, and we both had one, and we used the chat on there to communicate with each other, which is really awkward. We ended up going to the mall and a movie, and the entire time we didn't speak a word to each other. And I remember I actually got sick watching the movie because it had a roller coaster scene in it, and it was a first-person view, and I got motion sickness, so it was great. Yeah, eventually we did warm up to each other and talk to each other, but the beginning was so embarrassing.
What's my most horrifying first date experience? Well, it was less the first date and more the girl I was dating. Although the first date was kind of crappy because I just had surgery on my foot, so I was kind of limping. It didn't look very attractive, but suffice to say, we kept seeing each other after that, which was a huge mistake. Well, I guess the first red flag, and this was a pretty major one, was her smoking. Now, it wasn't just that she smokes, that's, a lot of people smoke. It was how she smoked, right? So, when we were walking in a train station, she was out of ciggies, and she couldn't afford to buy new ones. So, she found one on the ground that some random had been smoking, picked it up, and before my eyes started to smoke it. I wanted to projectile vomit then, right then. I could not believe it. There had to be 15 diseases on this thing. Ebola, malaria, fucking AIDS. And now I was gonna get all these diseases, thanks. That was when I noticed that she had a wedding ring on. Yep, that's right. She was fucking married. Yep, I was dating a married chick. Oh, she did her best to keep it secret, but it was very easy to see through. So after that I was like, I'm good. I'm out, I'm good. Haven't seen her since, thank you Lord. And now I have a delicious fiancée, and I love her very much.
In high school, I one day worked up the courage to ask out the prettiest girl in my class. Through some miracle of modern science, she said yes, which was just amazing. I took her out to KFC, which was my favourite food at the time and is to this day. And when I was trying to order a Zinger Burger combo for us both, ninjas attacked. Now this is not unusual in my part of Australia, but I think a few of the people were a little taken back, so I did most of the fighting. I did my best to make sure no one else around me got hurt, but when I turned around, the girl I had brought out had received a small cut on her arm from one of the ninjas. She blamed me and we broke up that day. I still think about her sometimes.
What? Danger Dolan, did you know that we have a countdown book featuring some of our best scripts on sale now? Links down below for the physical and ebook versions. That's it for this video, and have a go!